cops refusing to look at crimes. They say it's outside of our jurisdiction. The West Valley can only look at crimes of a person that has occurred in West Valley jurisdiction. So then when I'm showing them that they're not allowed to look at crimes Justine Taylor has committed in New Jersey and Florida. So who put that? That law allows her to do what she does. Do you understand? And they say, we don't write the laws, we just enforce them. And that's a law that's written to facilitate this cruel squatting scam. This cruel, it starts out as a squatting scam. It turns into what you're seeing now is organized targeting, racketeering, civil conspiracy involving 2 police stations, abusive power of attorney. At the very least, that's gone on for years. They haven't given up their attacks on me. That was started in October 2020 by Justine Taylor. I used to visit family on both sides, my dad's family and my mom's, every weekend. Every holiday I had a choice. None of that happens now. They've all turned their backs on me and have started these attacks. Not only are they not, they've completely isolated me, and the ones that are communicating have been busy for years in this psychological torture, which is factual evidence. The text conversations of Albert and Anita, that I have a thread with Albert and Anita, both of them triangulating together, financial abuse, psychological torture, defamation, blatant lies repeated over and over again, framing, and then encouraging Ned and Tanya to do it. So that's why I want to look at the previous addresses, which I really, really want to know what happened to the previous targets, the previous that she herself says you should see. She was saying, I'm going to contact the previous landlord that I was staying with, and you see what our relationship is to this day. I don't doubt I want to know what happened to the people she stayed with. I have the list of addresses. Police don't want to look at it. That's what I'm talking about. I want to find out what happened to that property where she was staying at. What happened to the property owner? The property owners of the previous addresses, Justine Taylor, lifelong career squatter, I think the term is grizzler. Are they still alive? Are they in jail? Were they sued? Were they blackmailed? Was the property taken and given to gangs or police? Who are the individuals who own those properties now? And then did they give huge ransom, a bribe to, which is called cash for keys? That's what I was encouraged to do. When I was contacting lawyers with help with the squatter, they would tell me, you give a huge sum. And Mom and Alan, the retired cop across the street, were about to give a donation. I don't know, maybe I don't know what happened, but I know they were discussing giving a bribe to her, cash for keys, to have her leave. She was asking for $50,000. That officer from the West Valley, I have it on video. He's asking her, the sergeant is asking her, how much, what would it take to get you to leave? She was asking for 50 grand. So did that happen in the previous atlases? A huge bribe. And is that a big industry? The cops helping a fentanyl dealer, a criminal, a gang member occupy a house. I mean, squatting does happen, and the laws do facilitate. Amongst them is you're not allowed to look, cops aren't allowed to look at atlases in previous, crimes in other jurisdictions. They keep saying it's only what happened today. It's a crime today. I don't want to hear it, they say. I don't want to hear anything else other than what happened today. Was the crime today? And that policy is against the Constitution. The Constitution is written to protect us. Cops are there to uphold the Constitution to protect us. But they have policies that help squatters and abusers hurt us, and they're obeying law, and the laws and policies shouldn't allow that. They say we enforce the law, we don't write it. Those laws are in contradiction to the Constitution. The supremacy law in the Constitution, section 2, 6, what part of the 6th section 2 says, no law shall be made in violation of the Constitution. So the laws and policies that help cops attack individuals, property owners, supporting squatters and abusers of power of attorney, or it may be a different combination. Maybe someone who has conservatorship, guardianship. There's I imagine different varieties. I see cops and APS supporting abusers of conservatorship, like Jeremy Bernstein's mom abuses her son to get funds from regional center, riches from regional center, which is a common thing. I've been caregiver, I know all about it. That's why I was fired, and other people were fired because they found out about it, And the cops and APS support that. So if the cops and APS are supporting laws and policies that target individuals for exploitation by fentanyl dealers and abusers, then they're committing crimes. When every time they answer a call and they support the abuser, they're committing crimes. Cops say we can only help if there's a crime. They're committing a crime. They're committing a crime every time they've visited my mom's house, answering her false 911 call intentionally and scolding me, poking at the sword to provoke my arrest, and using those calls to put her in 5150 holds and take away her capacity, which Anita did in violation. She posted APS, filed APS report intending that result, so that when mom's asking her to revoke a power of attorney, she says mom doesn't have capacity, her request is not valid. You gotta get this on TV. You gotta look at what's going on, because it's going on all over the country. Everyone I talk to, they've been victim of inheritance fraud, scam, because police, APS, CPS, they supported the policies across the board. Social workers, doctors, is to support inheritance, government dependency, that's fraud, lawsuit abuse, scamming. It's all supported by law enforcement. They say the cops say it's a civil matter to make lawyers rich. Everyone knows about it. Everyone works together. Insurance fraud, right? They cause accident to get insurance. They burn their business down to get insurance. 9/11 was insurance fraud. You're aware. They couldn't get that. It was too expensive to remove the asbestos, too expensive to demolish it. They blew it up to get the insurance money and then blamed it on the Arabs to start two wars. And it's all the people who, police officers, who veterans of those wars, support a squatter moving in the house of a Middle Eastern guy, myself. Case in point, so how many Middle Eastern people have had this happen to them throughout the country? Have the cops support a white girl occupying their house because they hate Middle Eastern men? So Mike Villardi's Facebook page had a lot of women, including Justine Taylor, with bikinis with American flag on it, and they had the hashtag never forget what they did to that. They were using 9/11 as rationale to support attacks on Middle Eastern people, and Mike Velarde has a lot of anti-Arab, anti-Muslim, attacks. He has policies. He wants to run for Congress and I think president later on, and then he has a lot of language about how horrible Arabs and Middle Eastern people are, because he was first responder at 9/11, recovering bodies at the Staten Island dumps. So he's traumatized by that and is motivated because of that trauma to attack Middle Eastern people. And he was Justine Taylor's Facebook friend. He was alerted by Justine Taylor when she moved into my house. And he goes, who's hurting you? So I imagine he has friends at West Valley Police Department that he contacted to have them carry out this cruel, cooperate with the squatter against me. I'm Zeke Matevosian. Get this on TV.